In this video, we're going to learn PHP functions. So as we have covered in the JavaScript section, we know that functions, they are used to replace a certain piece of code that we want to call many times. So rather than writing this piece of code over and over, we just place it inside a function, and whenever we need that piece of code, we just call the function instead. So let's create our first function. The syntax is similar to JavaScript, so we're going to use the function keyword followed by the name of the function. We're going to call it welcome me, and then we're going to have parentheses where we're going to place any arguments for the function. So this one is not going to have any arguments or any parameters, so we're going to leave it empty, and then we're going to have curly brackets where we're going to write the piece of code to execute. Okay, so for this one, let's write something simple. Let's echo a paragraph. And let's write, for example, welcome to my website. So if we save and refresh, nothing happens. And the reason why is because we have just defined the function. We haven't called the function yet. So if we want the piece of code to be executed, we'll need to call the function. So to call the function, we're going to use the name of the function, followed by parentheses, and any arguments or parameters that go inside the parentheses. For this function, we don't need any arguments, okay? So if we save and refresh, now we can see that we have called the function and the code has been executed. All right? Okay, now we're going to define another function. And this time, okay, so let's just leave the definition of the functions at the top and all the calls at the bottom. So the second function is going to have a couple of parameters. So you're going to call it welcome user, and we're going to have first parameter name, and the second parameter, let's say credits. Okay. After that, we're going to have curly brackets. We're going to have the code to be executed. And this time we want to echo. We're going to have a paragraph, and inside the paragraph, we're going to have hi followed by the name. And then we're going to say, welcome to my website. Your credit is, and we're going to use this credit. Okay. Okay, so we're going to have a paragraph. And then inside the paragraph, we're going to write hi, okay, followed by name. Okay. Since we're using double quotes for our string, we can just use the variables straight away inside the quotes. Okay, and let's say welcome to my website, and say your credits is, and then followed by the credits variable. Okay, and then dollars. Okay, so now let's call the function. So to call the function, we're going to use the name of the function, okay, followed by parentheses, and we need this time to place the arguments or the parameters. So the first parameter, let's have for example John, and the second one for the credits, let's say 100. So if we refresh, we can see that we have executed the code inside the function, and we can see that we replace the name with the value given to the function and the credits with the 100 value as well. Okay. Okay. Now let's build another example. So this time we're going to have a function that will return something to us. Okay. So we're going to name it sum. So the function is just going to return the sum of two numbers. So it's going to take a couple of arguments. Okay, so the first one is going to be x, and the second one is going to be y. And it's just going to return the sum of x and y. All right. Okay. So now to call the function, what we're going to do, let's just echo, for example, a paragraph. Okay. And let's say the sum of 7 and 5 is, okay, so let's have a variable here. So we're going to call it sum, and this variable we're going to set it to the sum of 7 and 5. Okay. Since the function is returning something, okay, so this value that the function is going to return to us, which is the sum of 7 and 5, is going to be stored inside the sum variable. Okay, so now if we save and refresh, we can see that the sum variable has is storing the sum of 5 and 7. Okay.